It's not that Lincoln can tell us how to solve climate change. He can't answer the questions of stem cell research. But I think Obama finds in Lincoln a model and a mentor because of Lincoln's spirit, his attitude. That's why Lincoln is so important for us today.
There's a lot about the Lincoln story that's relevant today. It's both the accomplishments he made, his use of government and presidential power, as well as a very human story.
This is a human being who is struggling with his own insecurities, his own vulnerabilities, to become something more than he was at the beginning.
Here at the National Museum of American History, we recently opened a new exhibition on Abraham Lincoln, drawing on our really exceptional collection of Lincoln material. So there's items that go from an iron wedge he used to split wood in New Salem, to a coffee cup he left behind at the White House on his way to Ford's Theater. We have two life masks of Abraham Lincoln. One was made in 1860, and the second life mask was done of Lincoln 2 months before his assassination. And if you compare the masks, you can see the young, vigorous Lincoln entering office. And in the later mask, you see the sunken cheeks, the wrinkles on his face, of someone who has spent a little bit more than 4 years really dealing with the ravages of the Civil War and the toll that it placed on him. One of the things that I think attracts many people about Lincoln, and certainly me, is his ability to change and grow throughout his life.
I do not believe that he entered the White House with the idea that he would emancipate the slaves. His policy that would finally culminate in the Emancipation Proclamation is really something that evolved. I think he tried out a variety of options. He did recognize that it could be short-lived, it could be overturned by a Supreme Court or a future president. So what's often forgotten is how hard he pushed for a 13th Amendment to abolish slavery forever.
The story of Lincoln's life, of growing up in a frontier log cabin, and it has this sort of inspiration. And Lincoln himself plays on this. He's running for president in 1860, and they're looking for a device, something that will tie him to the common man. And so they get this idea of Lincoln as the rail splitter, someone who split rails or wood to make rail fences. This idea that you need this iconic image for a presidential candidate. You know, it's the same kind of soundbite mentality that we have today. They recognized in the early 19th century as a campaign technique.
Lincoln represents this fascinating story of an American who rises seemingly from nothing and becomes president of the United States, saves the Union, frees the slaves, and Lincoln is to become kind of a global figure, not simply an American figure.